That should be the intro.
That's not the intro.
Hi, everybody.
Hello and welcome to the Not So Real podcast.
I don't even know what number we're on anymore. Like, we've just done so many.
8.
I don't know. Like,
This is not a good thing.
it's over 5, right? Like,
5 was James Bond.
yes.
6 was Super Soldier Serum. So
Oh,
this must
so
be...
we're on 7.
This is 7.
Yeah, there we go.
We're on number 7. We don't forget. It's not like we take big breaks or 2 weeks off.
No,
between
never.
episodes.
No, we don't do that.
No, this is a constant thing.
Number... Oh, no, I'm not going to attempt it.
Sept. However, we have news. It's
oh,
very much
do we?
delayed news. We do.
Oh, okay.
This is
We're pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh.
We
Was that
don't
not
know
the... Was that not
how
the not the news?
Who's pregnant, you or me?
Up to you. Go on, tell us the news, because I'm shocked as well.
We during like the first or second episode
Right.
got into the Apple chart for comedy fiction podcasts. Where do you reckon we came?
Probably on her back. No? No, what, wait, oh, you mean I don't know, like 100? Is that too optimistic?
No,
Sorry.
that's
Was that a bit too rude?
That's not optimistic. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Are you actually crying? Are you actually crying?
For real, though, for real, not on a back. For real.
For real. For real.
Where do you think we came in the Apple Comedy Fiction UK charts?
Okay, I don't know, like there's got to be quite a few like podcasts, right?
Yeah,
So,
there's absolutely loads.
okay, I like maybe like 500 or
500?
or something. Yeah, there's got to be like something like that, right?
The
Because
chart
there's loads.
starts at 250.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to say 249.
249, do you reckon it's 249?
Yeah, 249 for sure.
We came 18th.
What? Are you joking?
18th in the UK for comedy fiction podcasts, and that was episode 2.
Where are the people like they need people coming in
Where's
with
the
like
medals?
the flowers, the medals, congratulating us. Like,
This is
what's
the part
going
where
on?
we get knighted, right? That's
Yeah.
how that works, yeah?
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
Top 20 in the UK
That
for
is
comedy
insane.
fiction.
That is
on Apple.
insane.
And that was, I mean, we are like, and this is episode 7.
Mm,
Where's the gold medal?
fuming.
I'm waiting.
I want it now.
And we are still in the charts, by the way. Okay, we are still in them. We're just not 18th anymore. We're 249th.
See, I was kind of right.
You mean?
Yeah, so I was right.
now. So we are, we are still knocking about top 250 in the UK, which for 2 people in a room chatting about films,
Nah.
I think we're doing all right.
I think we're doing all right, you know.
When are we getting paid?
Next year, sure.
So back to the actual podcast and the thing we're going to get to today in the Not So Real pods.
Mm.
This week we are talking about a film called In Time, and I'd never seen this film before.
Have you not? It's a great film.
Well, I have
oh my
now,
god!
obviously.
You have now,
Otherwise
but
this
it's a
wouldn't work.
great film.
Oh
Like,
my god, I'm hooked.
Justin Timberlake at his peak.
See, I was told
like-
it was dreadful. This is why I was worried about
No,
it. Like,
I think it's better than Friends with Benefits. You know.
that is a good film, though. We're not talking about me and Lee here. We are talking about an actual film. If you're not actually knowing that Friends with Benefits is a real film, we're not a side thing. My other half wouldn't be impressed.
No.
I've got to be careful now.
Oh,
Don't put
I
me in the
see.
doghouse.
Well, we will see.
So, if you haven't seen the film In Time, like I hadn't seen the film In Time, there's something that we have to do on the podcast that has become like a ritual, isn't it? It's like the start.
Yeah, it's the brief.
Yeah, it's
It's
the only
brief.
the only way for us to start the episode is to make sure you know what on earth we're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly. Like, because if you haven't seen the film, we're gonna just tell you what it's about, so you can kind of get a bit of a general knowledge. You can listen to the pod, and it'll be all right.
But the slight twist is, I make it up. So I've
Yeah,
seen. I've seen the
Jack's
film
seen
once.
the film, and then he just like kind of comes up with a synopsis.
So that's a good word.
Oh, I know.
Wow,
It's
you've
come
done
out
well
just
there.
from the top of my head, you know.
So one time only. The brief for In Time.
Okay, go on.
In Time is set in 2169 in a society where currency is time.
Ooh.
At 25, you stop aging, but you are giving 1 year to live. And that is the amount of time that you have. It was highlighted on your arm and it counts down in seconds. As soon as your time runs out, you instantly die. The rich people have lots of time and live lavishly in the sector that they are born in. And the poor people work for a living in the sector that they are born in, and people very rarely move across their sectors. Now, you can gift time to people, but you also have to buy everything with time. So food, water, drink, bills, and prices obviously vary depending on the value of the thing you're going to buy. So cars are more expensive than bread. And a guy called Will Salas, is gifted almost a century of time. He's a very poor person.
JT,
in
the
film.
one and only.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake. He doesn't sing in this, by the way. And he goes on a mission to end this society, which is dictated by time and the power it gives you to have it in abundance. The brief.
That was actually fantastic. That's the best brief you've done.
I feel like that was a lot of effort.
To be fair, I think you've had the 7 before that you've come up with, and I
6.
think the 6 that you've come up before with, and you know what, you're just becoming a natural.
I think you could almost go so far as to say like talent.
It is pretty much talent.
BGT.
Like my brief would be time, Justin Timberlake. Cry me a river. So I think I'll leave it down to you.
I want to start right here. The film itself, based on time. Is there anything more valuable now than time? Because the film came out in 2011, right?
It was very ahead of it, like,
ahead
of its time. Oh. But it was very much ahead of its time. Like, it's one of those, like, it's very much a head fuck, you know? like, it's such a, like, what the, like, it's like a what? Like, it's that sort of film.
Yeah,
like I watched the film. I didn't sleep. Like probably, I was like thinking about time.
Yeah, because you're sitting there and you go, actually, that is kind of true. I only have a certain amount of time left in a really deep way.
Yeah,
and it was actually, it was ahead of its time because when you think about it, like, the thing we value more than time now is like phones.
Okay.
I think we're always on our phones, even around people. I reckon we're like always looking at our phones and looking at what's going on. And like Instagram was launched in 2010 and then Snapchat in like 2014. Facebook had been going for like 3 years by 2011, right?
Yeah.
And people now spend more time on their phone than actually interacting with anyone.
So your point is?
Get off your phone.
Yeah, but that's the thing. At the end of the day, like, the whole film is talking about not wasting time, and we just waste all of our time on our phones.
Exactly.
Like, it's so bad. Like, it makes you sit there and go, oh my God, like, I should do a lot with my time. Like especially with that film, like, I think Will Salas was only, like, 26 or 27.
Yeah, he was.
He only had like because I think he paid like his year because like the babies, they get like a year after they turn 25, so they have like this whole year until they turn 25, and then it's like a shock to their body, and then they get a whole year. And I think he paid that year on rent.
Yeah, like rent's so
That's what I'm saying.
expensive.
That's what I'm saying to you. He only like extended, obviously, doing work and stuff for like another year. Like he was like 26. Like obviously before all of that, he would have died at like 26. This is mental.
Do you reckon you would behave differently if you had the time you had left written down on your arm? And
absolutely.
You could just watch
absolutely.
it.
Like that's crazy. Like I feel like everyone would. Like if you had the amount of time you were going to have left on your arm, like everyone would just do what they want. You know, like. It's like I'd go out and do this and do that if I like knew I only had like 14 days left, you know?
Here's what I think is mad though, right? So I think we're all people of like we don't crave social interaction as much, right? So when you get home from work and you're tired, you might not speak to your parents so much and just sit on your phone and like scroll through Instagram, or you might not like speak to your other half so much because you're tired and you're wanting to just sit and chill or watch the TV. But if you actually, like on your arm, when I've only got potentially 3 years, and then
You're gonna use them 3 years as much as you can.
you'd do everything. You'd be out after work every single night. You'd be doing whatever you like love. Like you wouldn't wait to go and like do your dream. You'd be like, well, I've only got 3 years to do it.
Something to talk about though. What if your arm gets chopped off? That's something they don't say in the film. I was literally thinking it the whole time of the film. I was literally sitting there like, what if they just chopped off their arm? Would the timer still run? Would it go onto the other arm?
It'd have to move.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's obviously the way their timer is on one arm. So if they just chopped it off, would you stop the clock?
Would you lose track of time?
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, yeah. That's don't look at me like that. But do you get what I'm saying? Like you could just chop your arm off and be like, "I'm gonna live forever."
I don't know, but then you would just bleed out. But then, yeah, you would.
No, you just like chop it off. I don't know,
Bandage it up.
band it up, like burn it, seal it. You'd still survive. Like people are out there.
I think it would move to a different part of your body. I mean, if you had
It's got to, right?
You had the other arm because then that's just the society wouldn't work.
I said to you before the pod that I'm going to surprise you with something, right? Didn't I?
I have been waiting for this, yeah.
Right, drum roll. Yeah, there we go. So In Time, the film, the concept isn't original.
What?
No. So, it is in the sort of sense of, the film's the film, but there was, a 40-minute film that was in, 1987 or something. It was called The Price of Life, right? And it's a 40-minute film. I watched this last night as well. And it's the same concept of paying with time. It's a bit of a darker sort of short film, the 40-minute film, because but they pay with obviously cards instead. So they have a card and they slot it and they spend the amount of hours. So technically, it isn't an original idea.
So instead of it having
instead of it being like a digital sort of thing, like instead of them obviously holding each other's hands and they're doing whatever, they've got a credit card sort of sense. So they have a credit card and then they swipe it and then it will go it will say, oh, this costs 2 hours, and then they'll swipe it and then obviously they can find out from their card, from the machine that they've got, it'll be like, you have 10 years left or something. 10 years, 14 days. And
so you can't check how much time you've got left? Or is that like going to get your bank balance?
It's basically the same, but you just pay, it's just like having a card, but it's for you and only you. It's your lifetime card. So you he was doing a thing when he was younger where he bought something and he bought it with a certain amount of days on it, and then he just swiped the card and then he bought these paintings or something and then walked off. But he was he's paying with time. He's still doing it. So In Time isn't original. They're not linked, but I thought I was doing some research and I saw this and I was like, oh my God, Jack is going to love this.
That's mad.
Yeah, isn't it? Screw you, In Time. Justin Timberlake, you fraud.
I have a very big question for you.
Oh, this is okay. I'm feeling a little bit, come on.
In modern day, if we took all the currency away and we were going to make one universal currency, how In Time it's...
Yeah, because I was going to say that to you. It's literally the whole world.
There's nothing else. So obviously we have euros, pounds, all the other currencies.
It's literally
in
a universe.
It's
literally the whole world.
We also have Bitcoin and online currency now, and you have it in games as well. There's so many forms of currency. Whereas in Time, there is you can only play, barter, trade, or manipulate time. If we took all the currencies away, and we had to make a currency for the planet, what would you choose?
That's a hard question, Jack.
I've given it thought.
Give me yours, and I'll think off yours because it's hurting my brain.
4G.
Wait, what?
Mobile data.
You want to pay by 4G?
Yeah, no, this is what I'm thinking.
Right.
So
explain this to me because my small little brain's not getting around it.
We're in a digital world, okay? So everything you do relies on you going on the internet. Listening to this podcast right now relies on the internet. Logging into Instagram, Snapchat relies on internet. Texting your mum relies on internet. Some kind of internet passage. Because you always hear especially with kids, right? Because people younger than us, 14, 15, when they like don't have any 4G, they go nutty.
Oh, they really do, don't they?
It's
Oh my
like the
God,
end of the world. It's like the end of their life.
my
When they're
days.
like, I can't get on Snapchat. I can't log into
You should see them on
Instagram."
planes, like, oh,
innit?
awful.
What do they don't even know what to do. They don't know what to do in a world where you can't go on the internet. So when you run out of 4G, you are literally like off grid. You're stripped back to just like caveman, because you literally have to just talk to people.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that? Talking
Yeah.
to people. So what I would do is when you get to the age of which whenever you get a phone and have like your first phone contract, you are given an amount of 4G. That's all you have. If the 4G runs out, all that it means that your phone breaks and you can't go on it and you can never get a phone again. But you can like trade 4G, you buy everything with 4G, but it also means that you can't like sit there and just scroll through TikTok, scroll through Instagram. You have to use it wisely. And that would fix, I think, a lot of problems in the world of like...
You mean you want people to just have limited amount of data?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want
all of this, you get.
Is that what you're saying?
New
You
data
just want
every month.
You just want
Fuck
the
that.
phone companies to go back to Orange and T-Mobile and to not have any data.
Yeah, but I honestly could use it more wisely. How many hours do you sit there and just scroll through TikTok because you've got like 5 gig a month to? I mean, I've got 100 gig a month to just waste. So it means nothing to me, and I can just sit there and scroll. Whereas if it was limited, like really limited, and I had a certain amount for my entire life, I might go, you know what, I'm going to treat myself and watch a football match on my phone while I'm like on the tube home from Wales, because that's what I really want to do. But when I'm sitting at home and there's nothing like important to like have or watch or see or stream or like put on like Netflix, I would think twice about it because I don't want to waste my 4G.
It's pretty smart, you know.
I think it's a good idea.
It's better than my idea that I've got.
What was yours?
Sandals.
What?
You know, like sandals, you can just get sandals anywhere, right? If it was like, right, this is like my world. It's a you got to think about this. So, you know, like a post-apocalyptic world, right? You know, like, this is what I'm thinking the scenario is. Like, it's a post-apocalyptic world, right? And then you've got a currency that isn't money anymore. You know, you just pay with sandals. Different colour sandals, different prices. It's like cash.
It's not even important.
What, sandals?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's random, innit? You don't want to like, you know, like you don't want something that's like quite, like, well, sandals are common, but I mean, it's not too common, you know? So like, I think it would be a great currency. And different colours mean different things. Don't look at me like that.
You born with a set amount of sandals?
Yeah, you're
What
born.
happens if you lose all your sandals?
Oh, that's a.
Have you thought about this at all?
No, I think at the end of. Also, another thing, if you're 25 and you look fugly, like what's like, do you know what I mean? Like some people get like better looking when they get older.
I think
And then what if you stop at 25 and you look
a
quite
good
bad?
looking age. I'm looking forward to 25.
I'm not.
Are you not? No,
I'm
no,
not.
you-
I'm 2 years
you
away,
get-
man. Like,
you get your jawline properly at 25.
will I?
Yeah.
What my free double chin?
Mate,
like
it's gonna
like
look good.
you know,
It's gonna look
it's
amazing.
definitely not.
Mate, all the people that are on like Tinder and Hinge and whatever at 25, I bet they look absolutely phenomenal because they're like properly matured. They're at peak matureness. They're at like apex predator level of good looking. You don't get much better after 25. After 25 is when you got to like moisturise every single night. Mate, 25
Nah, but
is
you think
peak
about
age.
like George Clooney. Like that man's like
but he don't
sexy
look,
old.
Yeah,
you know?
he's a sexy old man. But
I'd want that.
At 25, was he better looking?
What about Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp's just okay. Johnny Depp's
see?
just sexy the whole way through. But
25 is a peak age. If they'd have said right, age stops at 16, I'd be livid.
same here.
I'd be absolutely livid. Looking through photos, like, my
no!
God.
I've seen my prom photos. Trust me, that's not a good vibe.
No, yeah,
Not
you
a
should
good vibe
see
at all.
mine, mate. My forehead was like another fucking stratosphere. I was like, oh yeah, Jack's on Earth. His forehead's in Jupiter. 25's, it's got to be. I think it's just going to sound horrible. I think 30's too old.
You think?
Yeah,
Maybe 28. Like okay, that's a question we should ask. Like, what is the peak age to stop aging?
Let us know. DM us.
You tell us what you think.
When do you think you look best?
Yeah.
And if you haven't think you've achieved it yet, when do you reckon you'll look your best?
Yeah. Like,
it's a personal thing.
yeah.
I think 25 will be my peak age. I reckon
My
it's downhill
golden
from
years
there.
are gone. Like I turned 21, 22. That was all right. Turned 23. It was just downhill from there. Like I had 1 year peak. Like I felt great in myself, and then that was it.
No,
23, getting close to 30. Not that close. But I mean,
23 going on 30.
yeah,
but nobody
it's only
ever.
7 years. Like,
Your beard is going to be so much better in 3 years' time. Trust me on that.
how dare you diss my beard?
I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying it's going to look even better than what it already does.
So what I'm trying to get out of you, Jack, is that are you saying 25 is the right age?
I think 25 is the right age.
Okay.
Because then you've also lived like long enough. So, I mean, everyone by 18 thinks they're an adult, right? Because you get to 18, you're like, yeah, I've got a car, I've got a girlfriend, I've got a job, right? I'm saving to move out. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm 18 now. I can do all the things that I want to do at 18. Sweet. And then when you get to 21, you're literally like,
I like how
oh
we're just
my
dissing
God.
18-year-olds right now.
I don't care. You're like, oh my God, I was so young. I was so young at 18. I've never learned like. And then after 21, you learn about the adult world. So by 25, you're in the peak of it. You're like fighting for the job that you want. You're aiming for the bloody sky. And so at 25, when you're like, you're just at your peak. It's like aging stops. The wrinkles never really come. The grey hairs don't settle in. You always look good. Also, like, I would imagine, like, you don't change physically much.
No.
So if you go into 25 fit as a fiddle, you're stuck fit as a fiddle. So work out for 25 years and then you're done. And also, the older guy still gets up. So that's good.
So what?
Yeah.
No, explain that to me right now, because you gestured, but I didn't understand what you... No, go on.
Yeah.
No, go on. Say
You
it.
will still be able
Now go
to get a erection.
Oh, there we go.
That one.
That was... Oh, that's what you were trying to say.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah, true. It's a good age. I just think 28. I think 28 is a peak age.
But what if in those
I think
3 years...
I think 25 is still a little bit early, you know. Like,
Why?
I still think it's like... Well, maybe it's a personal experience. My brother is 25. I just think he could do with a couple of years. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, I love my brother. Do not get me wrong. But like,
does he not look good at 25?
no, he does. Like, right?
No, I mean, no. You need to explain this now because I've met your brother.
No, he's a
really nice
He's
guy.
a good lad, but his hair's falling out. That's all I got to say.
But by 28, he might not have any left.
Okay, that is a point. Actually, stick to 25.
Well,
I've changed my
25.
mind.
It's 25.
For you, Luke, it's 25.
But look at his hair. Okay, welcome to Problems. Lee, explain this part of the podcast.
Problems.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So basically, we have problems.
Yeah,
that
we do.
We do have
Lots.
problems just in general, but I mean, we've got problems here that we think the film can solve,
Okay.
and I think we see if we can or not. When this is what we discuss.
So, I've got a problem for you.
Oh, have you?
In Time. The problem that In Time can solve, watching your iPad at dinner.
Okay.
I can see you're thinking quite heavily about what I'm about to say.
So, are you saying that it's going to solve it because you don't want to waste time?
Wait, look
Oh,
at
there we go. I'm
Right,
thinking
so
for a change.
Here's the thing, right?
Wow.
You heard of a YouTube poll, yeah?
Yeah.
How much time do you waste in
yeah.
a goddamn YouTube? I've
Oh,
never
so many, like, genuinely.
so many documentaries about whales, and I don't even know anything
Top
about
10
whales.
oceans.
Top
I know
10
them.
deadliest creatures. How does a turtle migrate? I've seen every video
Yeah.
about that, right?
Yeah.
But
Give me a bit of David Attenborough. I'm all about it.
oh, do you want me to do my impression?
Yeah, go on. I'll do mine after.
David Attenborough.
As we see here, this is a turtle.
That was quite good.
Thank you.
Lee's got a new job.
We see coming across, it's Jack Burke being ginger.
No, it's just rude.
See, there we go. Look, that's my best. That's my best David Attenborough.
So here's my thing. One, I hate toddlers that are...
Statement: Jack Burke, 2022.
Hold on.
Jack Burke, one and
Hold
only. Oh, here we go. I knew this was going to happen.
When you're in a restaurant,
Oh, we're
when
going to
you're
get
in a restaurant
cancelled.
and you see
Oh, we're
toddlers.
cancelled.
I hate toddlers that
Oh,
sit
we're
there
cancelled.
and just watch YouTube during dinner. You didn't let me finish my sentence there before we just got obliterated by every parent ever.
Whoa! Yeah, we're definitely cancelled. I've said it 20 times.
I don't like it when like you give a baby an iPad and you go, right, eat, and then stick like any kind of YouTube video in front of them. So they just sit there and like.
I do get you. I think
understand parenting is hard. Like I'm not a parent. I understand you want a break, but that to me is like key moment you can like talk to your kid. And when my cousins sometimes like watch TV while I have dinner, and I will just like try and talk to them rather than have, because I feel like you chat and have dinner. Adults, and like we would go up to dinner and we would chat. So,
the thing is, I got two sides to this. I think I do agree with you. I think communicating, with your kid is like it's 10 times better, obviously. But then I do understand, obviously, some parents, obviously, just want to sit down and have a meal, and they're just so stressed. They've been running about all day, so they they give the iPad, so it's just a bit of a de-stress for them, So then tomorrow they're not so. Like they're so exhausted.
Yeah, they can.
So
just have,
it can be 50-50, which I can understand. But I do get you. It's us as well and kids. Just too much screen time.
There we go.
Too much screen time.
Because how many times you go out with your mates and they'll whip out their phone and just text somebody that's not at the table, and
so
you're like,
me.
you're not going to get this
I'm
time
sorry
back.
to say, it's so me.
Like it's like, I'm like, what are you? If it's like you need to text your missus and it's important, or you text your mum, your dad, your mate, and it's something important. Go for it. If you're having like a normal chit-chatty situation and you're out with your mates, just leave your phone, because you've got that clock then ticking down on your arm, and like, you're just watching this clock go as you're texting, because you'll be able to see it because of where it is on your arm.
No, that's why you think, right? Olivia Wilde and JT, the one and only, they've got such a close relationship with them two together, because obviously I'm guessing so because of the whole, their close connection. Well, at the end of the day, they probably ain't going to be able to afford an iPad, but at the same time, like, I think you could see how close they are and stuff. Like, I think it's a good thing. I think it would solve that. It would solve a lot of things.
I think it's that situation, isn't it? Of like, you could go on your phone in front of your friends and your mates, but if you knew you only had 2 days, 3 hours,
you had like 21 seconds to go.
All that.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't, because you want to enjoy where you are and what you're doing, rather than be in a place where you're not. And I think in time would solve that.
Leading on to yours, I want to say, because I think it links, is that my problem to the problem corner of Not So Real, that's what I'm calling it now, just why not, being late.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it would definitely solve the problem of being late to anything. Like when someone's like, oh, sorry, I'm late, I was doing this, I'm doing that. Like, you don't have the time to be late, Like,
you ain't got time.
You don't have time. Like, if you want to be late, that's on you. You're going to be like, 20 seconds out from dropping on the floor, Like,
exactly. And also, if you are late, you then haven't got that time.
No.
Because your mates will be there 5 minutes before you. That's 5 minutes of pure
They're going to
fun.
blame you, because their clock countdown, their clock countdown is going.
Because what if your mate had 5 minutes left on his arm at 7 o'clock and was like, we're doing something really fun for 5 minutes, and you're 2.5 minutes late? That 5 minutes is then very that is value. That's
like, you think about it. The film again. Just sorry to talk about Olivia Wilde, gorgeous girl, but she gets on that bus and it's like 2 hours, and then she ends up running instead. Like, at the end of the day, like they were late getting together so she could give time to each other, and that was the consequence.
Yeah, they were meeting up in the film because Will had more time, and so they had to be at a certain place at a certain time so that Will could gift her the time that he'd made by going to work.
Yeah,
and he had to have enough time to get from work to whether he or they were meeting, and she'd have just enough time to get from where she was to where they were meeting. And I think they were both, I think him ever so slightly more, ever so late, and she died before they could actually say goodbye.
Because of that bus driver, man.
But then
Like they
it
upped
would-
the prices, and then
It would
my poor girl.
It would solve being late to anything. I
Oh, it
probably
so would.
think. I mean, I think we've danced around this. I think you would just value time.
I value time now, Jack. I'm here with you.
This is perfect.
Winky face. I couldn't just wink at you because the audience wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't see it.
Winky face back. Okay, let's go and visit the planet of Not So Real. It is in the solar system. It's in the Milky Way. You wouldn't see. It's tiny. It's next to where Pluto used to be. Yes, we blew up Pluto. That
Yeah.
was us.
Screw you, Pluto.
Have it.
And you, Mickey. Oh, sorry, what?
So we are talking about the film In Time, and
If
we
I could turn back time.
need to decide if we would like the film to be on our planet of Not So Real. Already on the planet, can we remember? I'll go and then you go. Arc Reactor,
Oh no, Hunger Games.
not Ready Player One.
Paul. We wanted Paul.
James Bond and Q.
Gotta love Q. And not Super Soldier Serum.
So that is the planet as it stands currently.
Yep.
Lee, would you like the concept of In Time where the time you have left of your life is written on your arm and you can see it tick down to be a thing on our planet of Not So Real?
How about no? I'm gonna
No?
say no. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd be interesting to have, but I wouldn't like to know. I'd be stressed all the time. Like you see how stressed they are, just like they're checking their clock all the time. I'm like, I'll die when I die. Screw it. I don't need to know.
You kind of already have it. You just can't see it.
That is true.
That's the way that I see the world. Is that like bit deep? There's at some point I ain't gonna be here, right? It's gonna happen. It's bound to because I'm not gonna live forever. So I've kind of already got that invisible clock. So having it as a reminder.
But would you want people in our world to live forever? Because some of them would.
Oh.
That's the big thing you need to know. Because like, there's going to be like really rich like parts and going to be really poor parts. I don't want to split our world like that. You know, I don't need James Bond having a time clock on him.
Yeah, but living forever sounds a bit shit.
Exactly. I wouldn't want to live forever. As much as it's like some people's dreams, I think
Because then you wouldn't.
we all got to
value
go for it, you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't really like get up and have any go. You're like, oh, it's always tomorrow.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want anyone to live forever. I wouldn't want anyone to be able to like gift or receive time. But I don't know if by having the amount of time that I had on my wrist would make me a more productive person.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going with it. Because I probably would waste less time if I knew when time was coming to an end.
Right, I'm going to give you a proposition, like we did with the Hunger Games, right? So, I know we're not going to have... I don't want the whole fact of it being in the currency, but I want the fact that we've got the time on our arms so we know when we're going to die.
So then I can prepare for it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something you can compromise to? Because I don't want it to be a currency. I don't like the idea of that. 'Cause
Yeah, I think-
I like the fact that we've got the Jack and Lee currency in the world of Not So Real.
But there are faces on coins.
Oh my God, yes.
But then, right, so here's the other side to my brain. I would know if I was going before you, or you would know if you was going before me. Would I want to know?
See, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I
'Cause then
wouldn't.
I
Like,
think
it's
I'd
like
be
now.
sad.
I wouldn't want to know now. I wouldn't want to know now. You know, but it depends. We might be doing it for the greater good for our people on the world of Not So Real.
But what if I can only see my time? I'd be happier with that. I'd be okay knowing like my situation.
So you
And nobody else's.
so what you want the situation to be is that you just want you to know it and no one else.
Yeah. As long as I know what's going on, I'll
Okay.
be fine.
What about this? We're gonna say I'd say we say no to being on the world, but if it ever comes about, I'll make sure you're the first person to know when you're gonna die.
Thanks. Yeah, I think the whole concept of In Time, I think my head is a no. because I don't really think that it as a currency makes the world fair.
No. It does make everything digital, so like that's kind of a cool thing. Like there's no cash, no nothing.
Yeah, and
it is one all thing. But at the end of the day, like
yeah, but
no.
as the creator of the world, can I have mine written on my arm?
Sure. Do you know what? That's where the compromise we're coming from.
That's what's happening.
Yep.
So In Time has not.
It's
actually
not gone on the world, but it has gone on Jack's arm.
It has gone on my
so
arm.
if you ever see him out and about and you just see some random numbers on his arm, like he's like, oh, I don't know what time. So
thank you so much for listening to Not So Real, all about In Time. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Facebook at the Not So Real Pod. Give us a rating.
Give us a
rating.
yeah.
From 5 out of 5 is our like average.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a pretty good average rating.
That's okay.
Like, I want everyone to like, you know, leave us a comment, say something, talk to us.
Write a
like
review.
the thing is, something I think I'm suggesting to Jack too is suggestions. I think we're definitely going to take some people's suggestions.
If there are any films that you have seen where you go, that concept's a little bit bizarre or interesting,
and you want us to talk about it,
and you want us to
let
actually
us know.
debate,
We'll do it.
Like, how would it work in the real world? How would it change? Make sure you DM us. It could be on an episode coming very, very soon.
You never
Until
know.
then,
Until then,
see you in a bit.
bye.